What's going on, guys? We are Tottenham TV here, back again with another video update for you guys today. We've got a few things for you guys to talk about, a lot of transfer news, but let's start first of all with the season dates. They have been confirmed for the beginning of the season, and it could be a very, very busy beginning for Tottenham, the beginning of this season. Seeing as Tottenham are first in the Premier League, the UEFA Cup qualifying stages and the EFL Cup dates have also been confirmed. It means Tottenham could potentially start the season with 9 games in 23 days. Obviously, we know the Premier League starts on the 12th of September, but with the EFL confirmed for the 15th of September for round 3, and if Spurs progress past round 3, round 4 will be on the 22nd, which is a week later. Splicing in between at the qualifying rounds, it means that Spurs will play on the 12th, 15th, 17th for the Europa qualifying, 20th again for the Premier League, 22nd again for the next round of the EFL Cup, 24th for the next round of Europa qualifying, 27th for another Premier League game, on the 1st of October for the final Europa League qualifying game, and the 4th of October for another Premier League game. So it means 23 days, 9 games, which is an average of a game every 3 days. Quite a ridiculous start, and it means that this Europa League qualifying games have really screwed over Tottenham, and it could mean that our squad is really going to be put to the test early on. I'm worried for injuries. I'm worried for how we're going to be able to use our squad. It's going to be very, very difficult for Spurs to kind of manage this situation, because you could argue all games are quite important. I guess it means the EFL Cup, we're just going to have to throw it away, because we can't afford to not play a strong team in the Europa League qualifying games, seeing as they're one-off ties. And the Premier League is the Premier League. You can't rest too many players in those games. And obviously we want to be building a challenge for top 4 next season. So looks like the EFL Cup is going to have to be used for youngsters and fringe players for the time being. So it's going to be a very, very busy period for the start of the Premier League season. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think of that? Have we really been screwed over from the Premier League and the EFL Cup dates? And obviously with the qualifying for the Europa League, it looks like it's going to be a big struggle for us. Moving on to some transfer news, Vertonghen, we'll start with him. He has completed, or is set to complete, a free transfer to Benfica, the Portuguese side who finished second in the Portuguese Super League last season. He's set to sign a 3-year deal with Benfica. So good on him. Obviously, he's been released for Spurs at the end of the season. He's now 33 years of age, so that contract should time over to when he's 36. We'll obviously wish Vertonghen all the best of luck in his adventure, and hopefully he could be a big success over in Portugal, and I'm sure he'll have a great time over there. Benfica are a great club, and he'll be playing Champions League football next season, unlike Spurs. So there you go for Vertonghen. More transfer news. Serge Aurier, apparently the talks continue between AC Milan. According to the London Evening Standard, talks continue with AC Milan in regards to Serge Aurier. Spurs looking at 22 million transfer fee. Apparently AC Milan are only willing to go as high as 13 million for Serge Aurier, which means Tottenham are going to have to lower their valuation if there's a deal to be done there. Hopefully we can meet in the middle. So apparently there's 9 million valuation difference between AC Milan and Spurs. Obviously, I think Serge Aurier had a half-decent season last season, but a lot of costly mistakes by him cost us some big, big points. And I think looking at the right-backs that Tottenham are after at the moment, none of them are that much higher in quality than Serge Aurier. But what they do offer is a bit of stability and hopefully a lack of mistakes, which Aurier just keeps costing us. But in terms of statistics and tackles, interceptions, how far forward they get, assists, Aurier is up there with the best of the right backs that we're definitely after at the moment. But it's just his concentration and his mistakes that keep costing us, and I'm not surprised. Obviously we're looking to sell him. 22 million is around the price that we paid for him. I can't see us recouping it. I think we're going to have to take a loss. I can see us maybe going down to something like 18 or 19 million. Whether AC Milan are willing to go as high remains to be seen. I think there could be a compromise there, but Spurs are definitely going to have to take a hit on their valuation. I can't see Daniel Levy being able to get 22 million for Serge Aurier. I think we're going to have to take a loss on him. And apparently the right back options that we're looking for, Zeki Celik, Max Aarons and Castagna, they're going to have to be around the £18 million mark. So it seems about right that the Spurs, if it's true that we can only buy what we bring in, those figures seem to make sense. If we can get rid of Serge Aurier from around 18 million, bring in Celik for around 18 million, that seems to make sense. But it looks like we're going to have to lower our fee because 22 million seems a bit much. More transfer news coming out of Italy, interestingly enough. Paulo Dybala is back in the news again, which is much to the delight or dismay of Spurs fans, however much you look at it. Paulo Dybala apparently has been put up for sale by Juventus, who look to take some money off their wage bill. According to reports in Spain, he could be available for around 100 million euros, so that definitely rules Spurs out, unfortunately. And apparently Juventus have offered him a contract of 150 grand a week and he wants 280 grand a week, so these numbers are definitely right out of Spurs' stratosphere. Obviously Tottenham had the chance to sign Paulo Dybala last season and we very nearly got the deal done, except for the image rights, which were about £15 million apart, and Tottenham failed to get their man over the line on deadline day for around 60 million. He went on to become Serie A Player of the Season for Juventus after they won another Scudetto, their 8th in a row, and he starred for them with 11 goals and 11 assists, partnering Ronaldo up front, and he really saw the best of him. Doesn't look like we're going to be getting Dybala this time around. I think that ship has definitely sailed. I think we were set to get him for around 55 million to 60 million last summer, with apparently reported wages of around 120 to 150 grand a week, but this summer his price has doubled, or nearly doubled to around 100 million euros. So it looks like that deal is definitely dead for Spurs, but it could be a deal that could be done around Europe. Apparently Juventus are looking to sell him and looking to get him off the wage bill, although Romano insists that Dybala for the time being is not for sale. Reports in Italy are saying that they would be looking to do a deal for around 100 million euros, but looks like for me personally this deal is definitely dead for Tottenham. That's not going to happen. Tottenham did make an announcement though today about the coaching staff. Ryan Mason comes in as head of development, along with Chris Powell, who comes into the academy as part of the coaching staff. So we welcome Chris Powell to the squad, who's obviously had management stints at Southend and Huddersfield and a few other clubs. So he has some management pedigree, obviously, and obviously he was also manager of Charlton Athletic as well, I believe. So he has some management experience, but it hasn't really worked out for him in management. But he comes in as head of the academy, and obviously Ryan Mason gets promotion as well. So welcome then to the coaching staff. Premier League, talking about Premier League, they made an official announcement in terms of goal of the season, everyone's favourite award for the end of the season, and it has been won by Heung-min Son for his goal against Burnley. That exhilarating run from the edge of the box, taking on all comers, right, left and centre, took about 4 or 5 players on, got all the way into the box, then calmly finishing past Nick Pope in a 5-0 victory back in November. Tottenham, Heung-min Son will be very proud that victory, that goal has been named the official goal of the season for the Premier League in 1920. From stiff competition from Jordan Ayew, his goal against West Ham later in the season. His fine individual effort was a great effort. But Heung-min Son, I think, well worthy of that goal. Really exhilarating run, really special goal for him. Not the first time he's done it. He scored against Chelsea the season before that with a very similar effort. But this one really took the cake, picking up the season, somehow finding his acceleration continuing throughout the whole of the pitch and going throughout the pitch and not being able to slow down. And no one being able to catch him. I think the Burnley players are still running after him as we speak. So really, really great goal, and it's been officially awarded the Premier League goal of the season. So good stuff for Heung-min Son there. And finally, we wish a happy birthday to Lucas Moura, who turns 28 today. And obviously we remember him for that fine hat-trick against Ajax. People are still remembering that on Twitter and all the social media. He's obviously had really fine form going to the back end of last season. He's now been at Spurs for nearly 3 seasons, having joined in the summer of 2018. So in January he'll be 3 years at Tottenham. So what do you think of his time? How do you sum up his time at Spurs so far? He now turns 28. Do you think he's been a success? We signed him for 25 million, or do you expect more from a player of his kind of talents? Last season, I think it was a bit of a hit and miss season. He really turned on his form at the back end of last season, but during the season, I think 4 Premier League goals overall, he's going to be really, really disappointed with that return. I think he expects better from himself, but I think overall he's been a very, very good signing for us. I think for 25 million, I think we've definitely got our money's worth, and obviously on that night in Amsterdam, was really, really special, and people might argue that he earned his money just on that night alone. I think in the Champions League he's been a very effective player for us, regularly chipping in with goals and assists. In the Premier League, I think I would like to see his goals return, his output definitely improve. I think Jose Mourinho is a big fan of his, and that's bears brunt. That's shown in the amount of minutes he's played for Tottenham. But we wish Lucas Moura a very happy 28th birthday, and send your happy birthday wishes in the comments below. But that is your Tottenham update for today. Let us know in the comments below what you think of all the updates that I've given you. Like and subscribe if you like our content, and as always, come on you Spurs.